Time's running out. You can feel it, can't you? The ticking of the clock, each second slipping by, each moment a reminder that something needs to change. Something needs to ignite within you before it's too late. But here's the truth, it's already happening. You just don't realize it yet. The battle you've been waiting for, the one you've been dreading, the one that has shaped every fear, every doubt, every setback, it's already underway. And you're still standing in the middle of it. Listen to me. You're not as defeated as you think. In fact, you're nowhere near as broken as they told you you were. It's time to wake up, to open your eyes, to wipe the sleep from your vision, and to see yourself for who you truly are, a warrior on the verge of a comeback, the kind they never thought you'd make. Do you feel that weight? That pressure pressing on your chest? The one that keeps you awake at night? That's not weakness. That's potential, and it's about to break free. They don't know it, but your story is already written. Every fall you've taken, every scar you've earned, every battle you've lost, they've all been building up to this moment. They've been forging your spirit, sharpening your mind, crafting you into someone capable of more than just survival. You've been walking through a storm, but that storm is the wind beneath your wings, the fire in your soul. I'm not here to sugarcoat this. You're going to have to fight for every inch. The path ahead is full of obstacles, and the demons that haunt you, those whispers of doubt, those memories of failure, they'll try to tell you that it's not worth it. But here's what they won't tell you. Every single one of those demons is afraid of you. Every doubt you've had, every moment you've questioned your strength, those are the cracks in the walls they've built around you, and you're standing right on the edge of tearing them down. This isn't just another pep talk. This is the beginning of your transformation, and it's happening whether you're ready or not. You see, life doesn't wait for permission to turn your world upside down. It's relentless. It hits hard. But what if the same force that's tried to break you is the very thing that's going to rebuild you? What if the pressure of life, the weight of your pain, the fire that's been burning within you for years, what if that's the key to unlocking a version of yourself that's unstoppable? I'm here to tell you something you've probably never heard. You are the hero of this story. Even if you don't feel like it, even if you've spent so long in the shadows that the light feels foreign. You've been cast as the villain in too many people's eyes. Those who doubted you, those who abandoned you, those who tried to define you by your failures. But I need you to hear this, deep down in your bones. That story ends today. You don't need anyone to give you permission to rise. All you need is to recognize one simple truth. You have everything you need right now to make your comeback. You are the fire that's been burning in the dark. You are the storm that's ready to tear down every obstacle in its path. The battlefield has already been set. It's not waiting for you to find the courage. It's waiting for you to realize you've had it all along. Right now, in this very moment, you stand at the edge of something monumental. They never thought you'd make it. They never thought you could turn the tide, never thought you could rise from the ashes of your own defeat. But here's the thing. They don't know you like I do. You are the one who will rewrite the narrative. You are the one who will drag yourself out of the wreckage piece by shattered piece and build something that cannot be destroyed. They thought you'd fall apart. They thought you'd disappear. But you're still here, aren't you? And it's time to show them that your story is far from over. It begins now, right here, right this moment. Your comeback starts today. If you break free from this place, it will destroy you. It will grow stronger and flourish like never before. Right now, in your life, right now, if you break free from this place, it will grow stronger and flourish like never before. Right now, in your life, right now, if you break free from this place, it will grow stronger and flourish like never before. Right now, and it will be the one they never saw coming. You've been fighting, haven't you? Every day feels like you're waging a battle that no one can see, but it's there, raging inside of you, exhausting you, tearing you apart. It's a weight you can't shake, a burden that never seems to lighten. Maybe it's the feeling of being trapped in a life that isn't what you imagined, trapped in a mind that never stops questioning your worth, trapped by a past that keeps pulling you back. The days blur together like a fog, each one indistinguishable from the last. You wake up only to face the same battles, the same fears, the same doubts. There's no relief, no escape. The days pass, but you remain in the same place, stuck. Like quicksand, the harder you struggle, the deeper you sink. Every attempt to move forward only drags you further into the mire, and you feel yourself losing grip, sinking deeper into despair. It feels like the more you fight, the less progress you make, and sometimes you wonder if the fight is even worth it. Number 5, Cody with dreams and Tompkins' Hatter on you. The night is flimsy, forbidding, sadness, feeling, hidden, despair. There are moments when you look in the mirror and you don't even recognize the person staring back at you, a shadow of the person you once dreamed of being. All those hopes, all those ambitions, buried beneath layers of doubt, fear, and regret. You don't have the strength to keep fighting the way you once did, and the weight of your own exhaustion pulls you under. Each step feels like wading through a never-ending storm, the winds of doubt battering you relentlessly, the rains of failure soaking through your skin, until you wonder if you can even remember what the sun feels like. And then there's the silence. That suffocating silence that presses in from every angle. The silence from the world around you, from those who once stood beside you and now look at you with judgment or indifference. The silence from within, where your own voice, once loud and clear, has become a faint whisper, drowned out by the roar of your insecurities. You've heard the voices, haven't you? The voices of the people who said you couldn't do it. The voices of those who told you you'd never amount to anything. And perhaps, in hopefully punctuation, they would. You've never succeeded before, and you give up on yourself before you do, and you look to the sky. The voices that echoed the doubts you already had deep inside you, those doubts that told you that maybe, just maybe, they were right. You weren't strong enough, you weren't smart enough, you weren't good enough. And somehow, despite everything you've done to prove them wrong, those words keep coming back, like ghosts haunting you at every turn. And let's not forget the voice that's been the loudest of them all. The one inside your own head, the voice that tells you that you're a failure, that you'll never rise above the pain, the fear, the brokenness. It's the voice that plays on repeat, day in and day out, whispering to you that this is all you'll ever be, that the dreams you once had are nothing but a distant memory, a cruel joke you never should have believed in, that you are defined by your past, by your mistakes, by your shortcomings. The voice that has convinced you that you are unworthy of a future filled with success, with love, with meaning. It's easy to get lost in that voice, isn't it? Easy to let it convince you that there's no way out, that you'll never be free. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that your struggles define you, that your pain is all there is to your story. The world around you might have written you off. Maybe they've looked at you and labeled you as damaged, weak, or lost. They've looked at your struggles, your failures, your pain, and they've made their judgments. They've forgotten one thing, though. They don't see the fire inside of you, but I see it. I see the tears you've cried, the nights you've spent wide awake, wondering how much longer you can keep going. I see the exhaustion that drips from your every step, the mental and emotional fatigue that keeps you bound to a past that's been trying to drag you down. I see the weight of the world on your shoulders, and I know it's been hard. It's been relentless, it's been suffocating. But what if I told you that this pain, this struggle, this storm you've been fighting against, what if I told you that these battles you've been losing, these moments when you felt like giving up, that's not the end of the story. That's just the beginning. You've been living in the shadow of doubt for far too long. You've allowed those voices, whether from others or from within, to convince you that your story is over, that you're not strong enough to face what's ahead. But what if I told you that those very doubts, those insecurities, those failures are the raw materials for your comeback? What if I told you that every single scar, every painful memory, every moment of defeat, it all has the power to shape you into something more powerful than you've ever imagined? You don't have to stay stuck in the quicksand of your fears. You don't have to keep drowning in the doubts that have been holding you hostage for years. You have the power to rise, to pull yourself out of the storm, to find solid ground beneath your feet once again. The road ahead won't be easy, but the truth is, you've already been through the worst, and you're still here. You're still standing, even if you can't see it. You're still breathing, even when the weight of the world feels like it's crushing you. And in that breath, in that heartbeat, is the reminder that you're not done yet. You've fought too hard to let this be the end. The battle for your future is still happening, and you have the power to turn it around. So yes, I see you. I see the struggle, the exhaustion, the pain. I see the weight you carry, and I know it feels heavy. But that weight? It's not your chains, it's your strength. The question is, what are you going to do with it? There's a point in every battle, isn't there? A moment when you feel like the weight of it all has crushed you beyond repair. A moment when the fight seems too long, too draining, too overwhelming to keep going. You've felt it before. The moment when you're not sure how much more you can take. The moment when every step feels like a 1,000-pound anchor pulling you further down, and all you want to do is close your eyes and let it consume you. You've been there. You've sat in that dark corner of your mind where everything feels cold, still, and stagnant. The air is thick with regret, suffocating every thought of hope that tries to break through. It's the place where dreams die, where ambition fades, where everything you thought you were capable of becomes a distant memory. You know this place. You've visited it more times than you care to admit, and right now maybe you're still there. Maybe you've convinced yourself that this is the end. Maybe you've allowed the weight of failure to define you, so deep that you can no longer see the light. You've wandered into the abyss, and the darkness has swallowed you whole. The flames of your passion, they're nothing but embers now, scattered in the wind, fading away with each breath you take. How long has it been since you felt truly alive? How long since you felt the rush of possibility? How long since you saw a future worth fighting for? Every step you take feels like walking through sludge. Every attempt to move forward meets resistance. You're stuck, aren't you? Stuck in this loop of self-doubt, trapped in the idea that this is your fate. Maybe you've stopped fighting altogether, resigned yourself to the fact that this is who you are now. Broken, lost, done. I want you to ask yourself, is this all you are? Is this all you'll ever be? A shadow of the person you once dreamed of becoming? You can feel the weight of that question hanging in the air, can't you? Because deep down, you know the truth. You know that this isn't who you were meant to be, but how can you break free from this? How can you escape the suffocating grip of your own pain? The world has convinced you that you need someone else to save you, a savior, a hero to come swooping in and fix everything. But that's a lie. No one is coming, not because they don't care, but because this journey, the one that leads to your freedom, to your power, has always been yours to make. No one can do it for you. You are the one who holds the key to your own resurrection. You see, you've been waiting for someone to come and light the way, but the truth is, the light has always been inside you. You've just been too afraid to trust it. Look around. You're standing at the edge of a cliff, and the winds of despair are howling in your face. It feels like the fall is inevitable, like you've lost so much ground that there's no hope of climbing back up. You look down into the abyss and you can't see the bottom. The darkness stretches on forever, a void so deep that it feels like it will swallow you whole. But here's the thing, the edge you stand on is not the end. It's a choice to stay stuck in the void or a choice to rise above it. A choice to take a step back from the edge and look at what you've learned, what you've survived. That abyss you stare into, it's not your grave, it's your starting point. And right now you're standing at the crossroads between surrender and salvation. You can stand there and let the weight of your pain pull you in, let the darkness envelop you. You can wait for the light to come to you, for someone else to pull you out, or you can rise. You can reach within and pull out the strength you've buried so deep, the strength that is still, even now, burning inside you. The choice is yours, but make no mistake, this is the moment that defines your future. Every second you stay in the darkness is a second lost. Every moment you let your doubts, your fears, your failures dictate your path, you're giving up the very power you've been fighting for. You have the strength to pull yourself out of this. You have the strength to turn the page, to rewrite the ending. You've just forgotten how strong you really are. The truth is, you're not as broken as you think. You haven't lost it all. You haven't been consumed by the storm. The pieces of you are scattered, yes, but they're not beyond repair. In fact, those broken pieces hold the potential for something greater than you've ever imagined. Your cracks are what make you whole. What if you could see your scars not as weaknesses, but as the marks of a survivor? Survives weakness bites, and torn skins, and stitches. Survives bullet and cracking crematones, and nails clipped by time. What if, instead of seeing yourself as broken, you saw yourself as forged? Forged in the fire of your struggles, shaped by your pain. You are not the person who gave up. You are not the person who allowed the darkness to win. You are the person who's been in the depths, who's been to hell and back, and you're still standing. And that means something. You're still here, aren't you? That's all the proof you need, because no matter how far you've fallen, you've never hit rock bottom. The bottom is a lie. There's always a way up, and the only thing keeping you stuck in that abyss is the choice to stay there. Look at what you've overcome already. You've been knocked down, you've been torn apart, you've been told you weren't enough, that you'd never make it. But here you are, still breathing, still standing. And that's your sign, that's your signal that this isn't the end. This is where it gets real. This is where you decide. Will you stay trapped in the dark, convinced that it's too late? Or will you rise from the ashes of your own despair and show the world the strength they never thought you had? And when you decide to stay trapped, will you end it? The power to change your story is already inside you. It always has been. And the longer you wait, the more of your life you're allowing to slip away. So what's it going to be? Are you going to stand on the edge of the abyss and let it swallow you whole? Or are you going to turn around, face the darkness, and walk right through it? The light isn't waiting for you on the other side. It's inside you, right now. And Matt describes him. You thought it was over, didn't you? You thought the weight of your pain would crush you beyond recognition, that the world would write your story in the ashes of your failures. But here you are, still breathing, still standing. And that breath, that heartbeat, that's the pulse of something far greater than you've realized. What you haven't seen, what you couldn't see while you were lost in the storm, is that every single moment of suffering, every scar you've carried, every wound that felt like it might never heal, they were all part of your transformation. They were never meant to break you. No, those moments, as brutal as they were, have been shaping you. They've been forging you into something stronger, something unbreakable. And you didn't even know it. The fire that nearly consumed you, it was not there to destroy you. It was there to forge you. The pain you felt, it wasn't your downfall. It was your preparation. You aren't broken. Look at the battles you fought, the losses you've endured, the nights you've spent wrestling with your own darkness. Those aren't signs of weakness. They're marks of your strength. Every scar you carry is a testament to your resilience, to your survival. They are not the wounds of a broken person. They are the armor of someone who has fought and won. What you've been through, what you've survived, it was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to make you unstoppable. You've been bent, but not broken. You've been pushed to the edge, but you haven't fallen. You are not the victim of your story. You are the architect of it. There's a power within you that you've yet to unleash. You've been carrying it, hiding it beneath layers of fear, doubt, and pain. The urge creates it, humbles itself. The strength is within you, your power. But it's there. The power was inside you all along. And now, it's time to awaken it. You have the power to rewrite your story. You have the power to rise, to reclaim what is yours, to take back everything they tried to steal from you. Do you feel it? That spark of strength deep inside you? The flicker of hope? The embers of possibility? That's not a mirage. That's the fire waiting to consume the doubt, waiting to burn away the fear. That's the power you've been carrying all along. The power to change, to fight, to rise from the ashes. Imagine it. Picture it. What would it look like if you stopped waiting for permission, stopped looking for a savior, and decided right here, right now, that you were going to take back control? What if, instead of seeing yourself as the victim, you saw yourself as the hero of your own story? What if you stepped out of the shadows and into the light, claiming the future that is waiting for you? This is not a fantasy. This is your reality. High five. You have the power to shape your destiny. The choice is yours. But it all starts with one decision, the decision to fight. You don't need to wait for some miraculous moment to begin. You don't need to wait for the stars to align or for someone else to come to your rescue. You are your own hero, and this is your time. The power to change is in your hands. All it takes is one choice, one decision, to fight. Don't let your pain define you. Let it fuel you. The fire that nearly burned you alive is the same fire that will now forge your strength. The storms that tried to tear you apart will be the winds that carry you forward. The darkness that threatened to swallow you whole will be the very backdrop for your rise. You are not a victim. You are a force to be reckoned with. Every setback, every loss, every moment of doubt has been laying the foundation for your comeback. You were never meant to stay down. You were meant to rise. You've been waiting for a sign, haven't you? Waiting for someone to tell you that you're ready, that you're strong enough, that it's your time. But here's the truth. You've always been ready. You've always been strong enough. The only thing you've been waiting for is the moment when you finally believe it. That moment is now. The next chapter of your life is not going to be written by the hands of fate. It's going to be written by you. You are the one who will decide what comes next. You are the one who will decide what your future holds. And when you make that decision, when you choose to fight back, you'll realize something profound. You were never broken. You were always becoming. This is your moment. This is your time to rise. This is the moment when you decide that you are not defined by what you've been through, but by how you rise from it. Your comeback begins now. And it starts with you. Do you feel it now? That surge of energy coursing through you? That sudden burst of clarity? The feeling that something inside you is finally waking up? It's like a light has flickered on in the darkest corner of your mind, illuminating the path forward, showing you the truth you've been too afraid to face. You've already survived the worst. Think about that for a second. All those moments you thought would break you. All those nights when you were sure you couldn't go on. All the people who tried to tear you down, all the voices that told you you'd never make it. You made it. You're still here. And that, my friend, is the ultimate proof of your strength. They thought they could break you. They thought that the weight of the world would crush you beneath its pressure. They thought that their words, their judgments, their doubts would shatter your spirit. But you're still standing, aren't you? Still breathing, still moving forward. They couldn't break you. You are not what they told you you were. You are not what your failures said you were. You are not the mistakes you've made or the setbacks you've faced. You are the survivor. You are the one who has withstood every storm, every betrayal, every loss, and now you're ready for something more. So let me ask you right here, right now, who are you really? Who are you beyond the fear, beyond the doubt? When you strip away everything the world has tried to make you believe about yourself, who are you at your core? You are not weak. You are not broken. You are a force of nature. You are a warrior, shaped by the battles you've fought, hardened by the fires you've walked through. You are not the same person who started this journey. No, you are something far stronger. You're not the same country. You're not the same city. You're not the city of mine. And I look at you and I see a natural beauty, something far cleaner. You are reborn. Look at your scars. Look at your wounds. Those are not signs of defeat. Those are the marks of someone who has been through hell and refused to stay there. Those are your wings waiting to spread. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, you are emerging from the wreckage of your past, ready to take flight into a future that belongs to you. This is your moment. This is the revelation. You were never meant to stay down. You were never meant to be crushed beneath the weight of your struggles. The darkness that threatened to swallow you whole, it was the crucible in which you were forged. Since that moment of discomfort, you have forged into the struggle that allows you to take a step forward into the daylight of which you were forged. And now you stand at the edge of something greater. You stand on the precipice of your comeback, your resurgence, your rebirth. But I have to ask you, are you going to stay down? Are you going to let the world tell you who you are? Are you going to let your failures define you, or are you going to rise? Are you going to show the world who you really are? Are you going to prove that all the pain, all the suffering, all the setbacks only made you stronger? You've already survived the worst. Now it's time to take the power you've reclaimed and use it to shape the life you were always meant to live. This isn't just about surviving anymore. This is about thriving. This is about standing tall and showing the world the strength they never thought you had. The truth is, you've been holding yourself back. You've been afraid to face the immense power inside you. Afraid that if you really saw it, you'd have no excuse to stay small. But you've done it. You've survived. And now it's time to let that power out. Are you ready? Are you ready to rise? Look at everything you've been through. Look at the obstacles, the failures, the heartache. What if I told you that all of that wasn't there to break you? It was there to make you. The world tried to tear you down, but it didn't know. It didn't know who it was dealing with. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your destiny. You've always been in control. You just had to wake up and realize it. Now, you stand at the threshold. Your past, with all its pain and suffering, is behind you. The future, it's yours for the taking. You're not who you were yesterday. You are who you choose to become today. They couldn't break you. They never had the power to do that. Because you are a warrior. You are a survivor. And now you are about to rise, stronger, bolder, and more unstoppable than ever before. This is your comeback, and it's only just begun. You've awakened, haven't you? You've seen your own power, felt it pulse beneath your skin, coursing through your veins. But now the real test begins. You've taken the first step, but now it's time to run. I won't lie to you. The road ahead won't be easy. There will be days when it feels like you're climbing a mountain that will never end. There will be times when the weight of the world presses on you and you'll want to quit. You'll wonder if it's worth it. But I'm telling you now, it is. You didn't come this far to turn back. You didn't survive all of that just to let it all slip away. You came this far because you were meant to rise. And rising, it starts now. Right now. Start small. Start today. You've already proven that you have the strength to endure. Now prove that you have the strength to transform. Build your empire, one brick at a time. Commit something important, one thing that's tangible that can move you forward. Use it as a boost of inspiration that will lead you to the top and give you what you want. Lay the foundation for the life you want to create, step by step, choice by choice. It's time to take control. You are the one who shapes your destiny. Every choice you make today will bring you closer to the future you're meant to create. So ask yourself, what is the first step? What can you do today to start building the life you deserve? Maybe it's a small step, making that phone call, writing down that goal, reaching out for help, getting up earlier in the morning. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because it doesn't exist. The perfect moment is the one you create by taking action, no matter how small it seems. Here's the truth. Your pain is not a weakness, it's fuel. Every moment of suffering, every scar you carry, every tear you've cried, those are the very things that will light your fire, that will push you to keep going when you want to give up. You are not a victim of your past. You are a product of your strength. The person who came out of that pain is the person who will rise higher than they ever thought possible. So don't shy away from your pain. Embrace it. Let it be the fuel that propels you forward, that gives you the energy to take the next step and the next. Let it be the reminder that you've been through hell and you made it out. The process won't be easy, but it will be worth it. The road to transformation is always hard, always messy. But it's also where the magic happens. It's where you discover just how much you're capable of. It's where you realize that you are not broken. You are becoming. You are becoming the version of yourself you were always meant to be. The life you want is not a distant dream. It is right there, waiting for you. All you have to do is take the next step. You've already shown the world that you can. Now it's time to show them what happens when you choose to thrive. So here's your challenge. Take action today. The future you dream of won't just fall into your lap. You have to go after it. You have to fight for it. But you've already fought the hardest battle, the battle against yourself. Now the rest is just about putting in the work. It doesn't matter how long it takes. What matters is that you keep moving forward. So keep stepping up, keep fighting, and every time you feel like giving up, remember, you've already survived the worst, and you're still standing. They never thought you'd make it, but here you are, and the world is going to feel the impact of your rise.